Right, good evening all. Welcome to this Executive Cabinet meeting of Chorley Council. Welcome back to Nina after an extended leave. I hope everything's okay at home. Brilliant. And so we've got any apologies for absence?
We've had apologies from Councillor Margaret France.
Great stuff, thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest? No. The first item then proper is the minutes of the meeting held on Thursday the 10th of October 2024. Any comments on those? Any questions on those? I move them. Will somebody second them? Thank you. Councillor Morwood, I'll take. All those in favour of accepting the minutes, please show. Good, that's taken as a correct record. I've missed this. Are there any public questions, Nina?
None received, Chair.
Brilliant. Brilliant. It's like it's never been away. The first item of proper business is item 4, is Councillor Wilson. It's the corporate budget monitoring report and reserves up to 30th of September. Not me doing it, you, Peter.
Yep, thank you very much. So I just get into the right page. So the report covers the second quarter, isn't it? And as you can see, there's not much difference in the position as was reported last time at the cabinet. So the projected overspend, as it says there on paragraph 6, is £209,000, and that's detailed in appendix 1. In terms of the underspends, overspends, we can go through. Well, I won't go through line by line, but broadly speaking, and it does say it in the opening paragraph. The area perhaps where the biggest challenge we face is the income from Market Walk. Not that there isn't income from Market Walk. There is significant income coming in from Market Walk, but compared to what was projected, it is a bit down on where we originally forecast. In terms of the performance of other directorates, as you can see there on the page 15, there are those that are currently showing underspends and others that are showing over. As we say, the net balance is the 209. So very similar to last time, Chair. It is fair to say that some of those items are commercially sensitive as well in terms of the dealings with the issues that we're dealing with. But obviously, if people wish to ask questions on that, then that's absolutely fine. The rest of the performance we can see is sort of slightly ups and downs. The overall position in terms of the balances is there. It just says 3.8 million or 3.88 million rather. We do have that target of budgets of £4 million. At the same time, we do make sure we have said we would also review that as well. So at some point, that's a discussion that needs to be had. But again, you can see we're not far off target on that particular item. And then we can see there the small, again, a sort of small reduction in earmark reserves as well, which is an issue, of course, because you can't continue to just eat away at a pot. But at the same time, there is still earmark reserves there that we need. And the balance at just over £5 million is relatively healthy, but not as healthy as it was. So that's the position in a nutshell, Chair. Happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Wilson. Any questions on that report that anybody's got? Looking online. No, can't see any. In that case then, the recommendations, as Peter's made, proposed are in paragraphs 2 and 3. Somebody happy to second those proposals? Yes, thank you, Terry. All those in favour, please show. That's carried, thank you. And we will move swiftly on to item 5, which is the capital programme and balance sheet monitoring report.
Okay, thanks, Chair. Reports tells us that in terms of the capital programme, the overall level of the programme has decreased since the last report to Executive Cabinet. So we can see it was at the last Cabinet meeting it was 16.1 million. That is now being revised to 13.3. So the breakdown of the net decrease of just over £2.8 million is then provided from paragraph 12 down. So you can see the areas where, first of all, where it's gone up slightly, which is the money for the Refugee Resettlement Programme and the money for Astley Hall. And then that's countered, of course, and come down by the two items there, asset improvements and levelling up. So it gives details there as to when that's hopefully going to happen, particularly in levelling up. We are making progress with that, Chair. I think we've actually, currently pressing ahead with that work, so that will be coming on stream. So, and asset improvements will be the same again. So it's a question of when rather than if in terms of the projects taking place. But again, the details are set out in the report in terms of the reasons for those variations. In terms of the overall borrowing, we can see the net borrowing costs down at the bottom of paragraph 23. Very, very similar compared to the original budget, slightly under, but similar. And then the collection rates, council tax and business rates, again, very, very similar compared to this time 12 months ago. So again, no cause for alarm there, Chair, but otherwise, no changes on the capital programme.
Okay, everybody happy with that report? I've got nods around the room. I'd almost say boring, Peter, but obviously it's not boring, but it's consistent, I think is the word I'm looking for. No questions on that report? Right, in that case then the recommendations are in paragraphs 2, 3 and 4, proposed by Councillor Wilson, seconded by Councillor Lowe. Thank you. All those in favour, please show. They are accepted. Right, and item 6, which is the next item, is the Q2 performance monitoring report. That's also you, Councillor Wilson.
Yep, so the report outlines the Q2 performance, which is good, as you can see in terms of our projects and measures. So of the key projects, we've got 3 that are completed and 14 that are rated as green. And then there's just 2 at the moment which are rated as amber, which we'll come to as we go through the reports. And in terms of the delivery measures, again, we see 92% of the measures and 100% of the service delivery measures are performing on target or within the 5% threshold. So again, at the moment, that is a strong performance and a strong position to be in. If we go to the body of the report, we can see there, just to sort of give a flavour of the progress that's being made in terms of the housing and the work we've got there. We can see we have actually brought forward the homelessness strategy, or prevention of homelessness strategy rather. We're looking to also increase housing standards, which is something we were made as a priority. And again, work is being done there to assess the number of properties perhaps that will be in need of addressing there. We've also been working with the Home Energy Support Scheme. So again, that's supporting people, particularly in low incomes, or those who need help and support with the bills. So that's progressing well. The area where, of course, we mentioned one of the projects which is rated as amber is the delivery of the local plan. I actually think, to an extent, being rated as amber is very much for the purposes of the risks that it could go off course, rather than at the minute indicating a problem with what we're doing. Because actually, I think as you reported recently, Chair, we've been making very good progress with the local plan, and our officers are working exceptionally hard to bring that forward and get it delivered as soon as possible. So I think it's very much, like I say, rated there because of the potential risk, not getting that we've got our partners involved and a number of hurdles to try and overcome before we get it in place, rather than that being a reflection of something being a ray at the moment. It's not. We're very much sort of making good progress, as it does say in the report. In terms of the green and sustainable borough, again, number of successes, an additional 2 green flags. So I think that gives a total of 8 green flags for our parks and open spaces. The bush shelter programme is ahead of schedule. I look at Councillor Lowe there, as that remembered only 6 months ago it was reported as being the other way around, wasn't it, Councillor Lowe? So we've raced ahead in our delivery as predicted. We've also supported, I think it says 44 applications from the businesses for the energy support scheme, and we're also looking at our own buildings as well. So I think there's a lot of work going on, and at the minute very much on target. Looking at the enterprise and economy, we can see we've got the Jobs and Skill programme continuing work. We've recently had the Employment Gateway Expo. We've looked at working with employers to try and help people in terms of getting jobs or volunteering, which will help them, give them skills to actually then get into the employment market. So again, good progress being made there. The other project which is rated as amber, which is the refresh of the economic development strategy. And again, as it says there, it's very much work in progress. It's not that things have been gone off massively off target. It's work that's in progress. There's lots of work being done. We just slightly probably having to revise the dates when that will be delivered by, but it will be delivered, and that will again put us in a good place to actually help identify, support people in terms of getting into jobs and supporting businesses in growing and actually helping make sure that the borough's got plenty of opportunities for people for work. In terms of health, safe and engaged communities, again, lots of excellent work going on there with the social prescribing teams. We've done a lot of work supporting people through the cost of living action plan and identifying people who need more support. We can see that the NEETs, which were previously reported on, again, is actually, again, a lot of work going into that and hopefully beginning to show some progress, as well as our health and wellbeing programmes, which again has helped hundreds of people right across the borough. And I think it is important with these, particularly this directorate, is that you can't underestimate the number of people supporting right across the borough. It's not, it's not a question of it's in the town or it's in a particular ward. It's everywhere where people need help. And as we know, that can be anywhere, whether it's rural or urban, or somewhere in between. So again, lots of good work being done there. The only target there, that's the indicator rather, that we can see right at the bottom, just to before I conclude, is the number of people satisfied, the customers dissatisfied rather with service they receive from the council. That's off target. I think quite a bit of detail there, but I think fundamental probably is the fact that we are now measuring it different. Not measuring it well. We're gathering the information in a different way rather. Sorry, is the best way. In other words, we're asking different questions than we previously asked. But that is going to change again. I think members may be aware that again we'll be looking at changing that. So we're hoping to get a better understanding of why people are saying that, and that's how you can then address it. So obviously I don't like it being off target, but the fact that we're asked more questions and we're getting a better understanding of why people are giving those responses, hopefully then informs us to improve the service, but time will tell. So that's the other target off track, and that concludes the performance report.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Any questions or comments on that report? No hands up. I will echo the comments about the local plan. There is really good work going on that, and there's been another meeting of the three councils this week, and yes, we are keeping trajectory, and there has been drop-in sessions arranged for members here as well this evening, I think, so, and there will be in the future, so that's all carrying on. And you're quite right about the customer care, customer response measures, which will be discussed no doubt at council next Tuesday as part of the revamped strategy, corporate strategy. Right, no questions on that. Okay, that the proposals are detailed in recommendation 2 that it be noted. Let's consider that report noted. Thank you all very much. Next item is also you, Councillor Wilson. Item 7, external funding strategy.
Yep. So quite hopefully a straightforward proposal, which basically is to centralise and be more focused with our applications for external funding to support our work. So the strategy basically is there to make it very clear how the council will go about organising itself, as it were, in terms of applying for external funding, and this will be done through one that directorate, as it were, which is one coordinating group, which is the People Policy and Partnership Service. And I think that makes sense because there are a number of people in the council who come across and deal with projects, and sometimes there is opportunities for external funding, but those individuals won't have either the knowledge of that or necessarily the skills to go and do it. So I think by centralising it, it makes sure that we actually have a specialist team to do that. It's shared between ourselves and South Ribble, so again we can hopefully get some good people on that, and it actually supports then the work of the council in each of the directorates, and also looks for opportunities as well. It's not just about reacting to what we're doing and then thinking is there any help and support we can get. It's actually looking forward to see if there are opportunities for us to tap into. So I think it makes sense to do it, as I say, with a joint work with South Ribble. I think it makes sense to do it through one group, or one service rather, and hopefully it will help us attract more investment into our borough.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Any questions on that report, on the external funding strategy? And just to comment, obviously, the council, as you said, is very good at getting external money in, but this will hopefully make it more consistent and regularise the situation, and that's the point of it. Right, the recommendation is on paragraph 2 to approve the external funding strategy. Can somebody second that for me, please? Thank you, Councillor Murray. All those in favour, please show. That's taken as being approved. Thank you. We moved on to item 8, Councillor Morwood, charging at section 106 monitoring fee.
Thank you, Chair. So the report is for members to consider is to approve the addition of a monitoring fee for section 106 planning obligation agreements into the council's upcoming fees and charges schedule. And so the recommendation is to approve the inclusion of 106 monitoring fee in the upcoming annual review. Basically, members will be aware that through the planning system, section 106 agreements attract funding from developers to pay for infrastructure, such as bus stops, play areas, open space, and so forth, and lots of these have come through council over the past months. Negotiating these charges, raising invoices, monitoring the payments, chasing the payments, the interest owed, the internal workings to ensure money is spent properly, the reporting of it, and so forth. It takes a lot of officer time and resources, and there is a provision in the legislation to add a charge onto the 106 agreements to help fund this work, and we haven't done that in the past, but I mean, we've seen some of the overspends in planning and so forth, so this will go a little way to help in that. Paragraphs 9 to 12 detail the proposal, and just for clarification, on paragraph 11 it emphasises that this is not a retrospective report, it's only on new 106 agreements. So by paragraph, excuse me, I've lost my place. Yeah, the suggested fees are on paragraph 13, and these are considered proportionate to the work that's done and broadly in line with other authorities. And paragraph 17 gives an outline of the potential income, but we're not sure. Obviously, it depends how many 106 agreements come along and how much development takes place over the next year or so. And so we will look at it after 12 months to see how that's developing. So I hope the recommendations are on paragraph 2. I hope you'll support them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morwood. Have we any questions on that report from anybody? No. In that case, as Councillor Morwood says, he's proposing it as per paragraph 2. Proposed. Somebody happy to second that, please, for us? Thank you, Councillor Lowe. And all those in favour, please show. Great, that's passed.